AI doesn't decide anything, it executes. Tools don't think, they amplify. And that's the part most people miss. Everyone is asking whether AI will replace them. That question already tells you who's at risk. Because replacement only happens to people who depend on fixed roles, fixed skills, and fixed instructions. The moment your value comes from following a script, you are replaceable. Agency is different. Agency is the ability to set direction when no one is telling you what to do, to move, adjust, test, and continue without permission. AI makes this painfully obvious. Today, anyone can access knowledge, anyone can generate content, anyone can learn faster than ever before, and still most people do nothing with it. That's not a technology. That's not a technology problem. That's a decision problem. High agency individuals aren't attached to a single skill, they're attached to outcomes. If one approach fails, they don't freeze, they recalibrate. If a system changes, they don't panic, they adapt. That's why AI isn't a threat to them. AI removes friction, but it does not provide aim. It speeds execution, but it does not choose direction. Vision is still human. Judgment is still human. Responsibility is still human. And the people who refuse to develop those traits will experience AI as something happening to them, while others use it as leverage. This is the split. One group waits for instructions, reassurance, credentials, or permission. The other experiments, iterates, and learns in motion. Same tools, different outcomes. The future won't be owned by the most technical people. It will be owned by the most self-directed ones. The future doesn't belong to the smartest person. It belongs to the person who can aim. Because AI doesn't make doing things cheap. But it doesn't make deciding. Let me go back. AI makes things doing cheap, but it doesn't just make decisions any easier. It doesn't make deciding what matters any easier. And that's where most people break. AI needs direction. Tools need a hand. Information needs judgment. And success needs a target. Your mind is a meaning machine. It will create a story no matter what. So the real question is, are you writing the story or are you being written? Because here's the uncomfortable truth that most people don't like to take, listen to, or pay attention to. Most skills will get outdated. Roles will shift. Platforms will rotate. Markets will punish you for getting comfortable. And none of that matters if you have agency. Agency isn't motivation. It isn't confidence. It isn't even believing in yourself while doing nothing. Agency is the ability to move your life without waiting for a green light. And if you don't have that, AI won't save you. It'll expose you. So, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 ideas that will change how you think about agency and how you can build it. Agency is the ability to iterate without permission. Most people say agency is acting without permission. That's partially true. But the deeper truth is agency is the ability to adjust without permission. Because anyone can start. Most people can't continue. They try something, it doesn't work immediately, and they interpret friction as a verdict. They don't refine, they don't tweak, they don't run it back with a better approach. They just quit. Then call it not meant for them. Here's what low agency looks like. You measure truth by what gets applause. You measure decisions by what keeps you liked. You measure your life by what looks acceptable. That's not thinking, that's compliance. And it's dangerous because once you train your nervous system to need approval, you can be stirred by trends, by fear, by incentives, by other people's definitions of success. High agency people live differently. They don't ask, will this be accepted? They ask, will this work? Then they test it. And when it fails, they don't spiral. They extract the lesson. They update the approach. They run the next rep. Agency is repetition with intelligence. High agency people treat life like an experiment. I was just talking to my friend last night and I was telling him, I said, you got to approach your lifestyle like a mad scientist. You have to be a mad scientist. Low agency people treat life like a job interview. They look for the correct answers. They try to perform the right identity. They don't want to look stupid. So they stay frozen. High agency people treat life like a lab. Hence, mad scientists. They don't need certainty to move. They just need a hypothesis. Hence, mad scientists. They say, here's what I want. Here's what I think I think might get me there. Let's test it. Mad scientists. And when the result is ugly, they don't make it personal. Failure isn't a verdict. It's feedback. Feedback. Don't take things personal. Take it as feedback. Most people avoid experiments because experiments threatens their ego. Because if you test, you might learn you are wrong. Or you might learn you were wrong. High agency people wants to be wrong fast. Quick, fast, in a hurry. High agency people want to be wrong quickly because that's how you get right. High agency people believe in the difficult. There are 3 categories of goals. Things you can do easily right now, things you can't do yet, but could learn, things that feel impossible until you become someone new. Low agency people confuse difficult with impossible, so they never attempt the thing that would change them. They accept a small life and call it realistic. But what's actually happening is they've been trained to tolerate the difficult, to endure the routine, to normalize dissatisfaction, to confuse survival with living. The future belongs to people who don't automatically retreat when something is hard. Not because they're special, because they understand the formula. Difficult is temporary. The upgrade is permanent. AI is not a threat to high agency people. Everyone's scared AI will replace them, and honestly, if your entire identity is a narrow task, you should be nervous. Okay, so if your entire identity is a narrow task, yeah, you will be replaced. But if you can aim, learn, and adapt, AI becomes, or AI, or things like AI, or more advanced technology that will be invented, anything of that nature becomes leverage. Because AI doesn't remove the need for human judgment. It can't. It increases it. AI can generate 100 ideas, but it cannot tell you which one fits your life, your values, your market, your long-term plan. AI can produce content, but content without context is just output, and output without intention is just clutter. The people getting replaced aren't the people with talent. They're the people who never learned how to think independently. If you look around your life, you look around in the world, if you just go out, you can see how many people are dependent on so many different things. They can't choose a direction. They can't hold a standard. They can't commit to a long iteration cycle, so they choose shortcuts. And AI is the ultimate shortcut machine. If you're addicted to shortcuts, AI doesn't help you. It amplifies your weakness. Generalists will win in the AI era. Here's what most people get wrong. A specialist isn't someone with a focused mission. A specialist is someone attached to a tool. And tools change. A generalist isn't scattered. A generalist is someone who can learn what's needed to execute a vision. That's why generalists win. They don't identify as a video editor, a digital marketer, a writer, or a designer, or an actor. They identify as a builder. They can step into new domains because they understand patterns, learning, problem solving, which I don't really like using the word problem solving. I would prefer to say finding better alternatives to a problem. Persuasion, systems, execution. And if a tool changes, they don't collapse, they adapt because their identity isn't the tool, it's the direction. Here's something practical. And this is how you can build agency starting today. Here's the method. Step 1, choose a direction, even if it's imperfect. Pick something you want, not forever, just for now. Indecision is comfortable, but it's expensive. Step number 2, create a tiny experiment. What's one action you can take in the next 24 hours that creates feedback? Not research, not planning, feedback. Step 3, run a weekly iteration cycle. Every week ask, what worked? What didn't? What do I adjust? What do I repeat? That's agency, learning, and action fused together. Step number 4, eliminate the permission mindset. Stop waiting for confidence, clarity, a perfect plan, someone to validate you. You don't get agency by thinking about it. You get it by moving, correcting, and moving again. So the future doesn't belong to people who know more. It belongs to people who can aim, adapt, and repeat. AI will not make you powerful, but if you already have agency, AI will make you dangerous. So if this helped you, you know where to find me, you know what to do. And like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you want anything else, if you want more, I'll make a follow-up video on the most common ways people think they're high agency while living like they're not. Talk soon. Bye.